Okay, I want to discuss overriding and overloading real quick here, and I'm going to return to an earlier theme that we used, and we're going to use the spaceship idea. So I'm going to start out by creating a new Java project. So File, New Java Project, and we'll call this one Overriding, Overloading. You can call it whatever you want. Click Finish here. And I'm going to go ahead and just create my app driver right away since I'm getting into the habit of doing that. Have it create the main method stub for us, so I'll check that box. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and create a spaceship class here. So right in the default package, I'll do new class, call it spaceship, and hit finish here. And let's have it move. So we'll make a method called move, void move. And let's just say that it moves 10 miles per hour, or 10, it moves a distance of 10 every time we call move. So inside, for my implementation of that method, I'm just going to put system out println and have it say moving a distance of 10. Okay, so that's fairly straightforward. And let's say there's let's put in some other methods here, like how about turn, and then just for the heck of it, I'm making this up, let's just say that it takes a string and call direction, and you have to tell it which way to turn, left or right. Alright, I know this doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but so I'll do system out.println and then do turning right. So there's our spaceship. This is the API for our spaceship. You can move it and you can turn it. Go ahead and save that. And now I want to extend spaceship and make an improved spaceship. So I'm going to use the spaceship as my base class. It's going to be the super class. And I'm going to make another class called, let's just call it improved spaceship. So right click on the package and do new class. So I'll name it improved spaceship. And in this case, the superclass here is not going to be object. It's going to be our spaceship. So go ahead and click finish here. You can see we've got our class improved spaceship, and it extends spaceship here. So you should know by now the reason that we're doing this is so, in this case our spaceship only does two things, but in reality a spaceship is going to be pretty complicated. It's going to do all sorts of different things. And because we can subclass it when we create this improved spaceship, we don't have to rewrite all the code for the spaceship. So just by the fact that I extend spaceship here, I don't have to write the move or the turn method or any of the other methods that might be in a spaceship. We get it. An improved spaceship is a spaceship. It inherits all the functionality of the superclass, the spaceship, and that's a beautiful thing because it saves us from having to write a lot of code. And you'll see in Android development, you're going to be extending a class 99% of the time you create a class, it's going to extend something. like an activity. There'll be cases, some cases where you create a class that just extends an object, but hardly ever. We'll do it a little bit. So the beauty of that is we can take all the code that those programmers at Google wrote and get all the code, and then we can just add to it to customize our own classes. All right. So just quickly here, I'm going to get rid of this. Yeah, my mouse is having problems here. All right. I'm going to create a new spaceship, or a new improved spaceship. So it's going to be improved spaceship. I'll just call it IS. No, I'll just call it ship. Equals new improved spaceship. And you can see, even though I don't have any code in my improved spaceship, I can still call ship.move. Go ahead and run this. My console out here, so save and run. Which one am I running here? Okay, sorry, that was stuck on an old project. So you can see I called the move method and it's moving a distance of 10. All right, there is no move method in this class here, it's in the super class, so we can use it. But let's just say my improved spaceship moves not only a distance of 10, let's say it moves a distance of 15. So what I want to do is I'm going to override the move method in the subclass, in the improved spaceship. So I'm going to do void move, and now this is something that you're going to see a lot in Android, is we're going to make a call to the super method. So I'm going to do super.move, and after that I'm going to move it 10 more spaces, or 5 more spaces, that's what I said. Then I'm going to do system out print line go and an extra distance of 5. So you're going to see calls to the super class quite a bit in Android development. Now, the other thing I want to point out is you're going to see this annotation a lot, and I'm not sure why it's not making me do it right now, but a lot of times when you override a method in the base class or the super class, you'll see this here, this annotation. And what that does is a lot of times people will make mistakes and they'll accidentally overload a method, which we're going to talk about next. They'll do it by accident when they mean to override a method. So when you put this here, this will prevent you from accidentally overloading the method. This will tell the compiler that if I were to do something like, if I add a parameter here, so we're going to talk about overloading in just a minute here, but let's just say that I make a move method here and it takes some integer parameter. So now you can see I got a compiler error. It's saying the method move type improved spaceship must override the supertypes method. So I'm no longer overriding the method in the superclass. I'm actually overloading it here. But because I have this annotation here, the compiler is saying, hey, you said you were going to override it because you put the annotation here, but you didn't. You actually overloaded it. And we'll talk a little bit more about overloading in a second, but I just wanted to show you that. So if I erase this, I think that then the error goes away just by the fact that I erased that annotation there. but I'm going to set this back to the way we had it before. But anyway, so you'll see this quite a bit, and this is just a note to the compiler to say that if we accidentally don't override it, if we accidentally overload it, then throw an error to let us know. So back to the code here. So this is a beautiful thing about inheritance. We've got our improved spaceship. When we call a move, we can have it use the functionality of the superclass. So we can call the superclass version of move, and then we can add our own bits and pieces to the code to do extra stuff. And this, you'll see this all the time in Android development. We do it all the time because, for example, the activity class, we extend that, and then we override methods of the activity class, but we still want to get the functionality that the activity class provides in its versions of the methods. So we call super dot whatever the method name is, and then we add our own code to customize it. So that's a pattern you'll be seeing a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and save that, and I'm going to run the app now, and we'll see a little bit different output. So we moved a distance of 10 based on the superclass spaceship, and in addition to that functionality, we got to add some of our own functionality and got to move it an extra distance of 5. Okay, so that is overriding.